You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
Let's spotlight Odell Beckham Jr., who had a 1,000-yard season his first year in the league, despite not playing a full season, and that announced his presence with authority. How about this? The former cover athlete from Madden NFL 16, he's done nothing but pile up 1,000-yard seasons since.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Let's look at the defensive starters now for Dallas. They've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
They have tried all season long to fix all the things that they need to in the running game, and they have been successful so far. I'm wondering if this is a time to just sell out. Make sure you have 8 in the box every time and bring a 9th and sometimes even a 10th to try and stop them from running the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
A first down carry for Barkley. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big completion there on 3rd and short keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
They'll try and run forward Barkley. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Now let's go! Blue line it!
He'll drop to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. In for the score. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So that one, a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
right? 2 touchdown passes last week. 2
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Collins. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And the quick slant gets exactly 10. And by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. This is how the defense will look for San Francisco. This unit, third best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
On second down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, it's Prescott. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Flush to his right. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Here we go.
The give is to Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Prescott from the gun. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage. And, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. So not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it. And he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun on third. Hard throw, incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, there's something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. A gain of 6 there on first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered. In our meetings this week, they kind of tipped us off. They wanted to play ultra-aggressive, forcing fumbles. They just did that right there.
They took it to the next level, didn't they? You're exactly right, because everyone talks about being aggressive on defense and tackling well, but they were talking about getting after the football, making sure the ball was stripped out each and every time they lined up someone to get them on the ground.
And the adjustment working early. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 14 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
He's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Fights loose. He's got it. This is Ware. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. Looking to throw. Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This one taken just inside the 10. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Finding some room at midfield. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll set up to throw. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. There he goes, left side. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his...
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys are in for 6. Well, what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs. If you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
SEC violation.
No doubt.
Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk about football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. In for the score. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
Point after here coming up. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go. 26.
2nd down, Prescott. Going to throw right side here, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Prescott now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Prescott to throw it. That's caught by Ware. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Prescott now. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Collins. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here we go. 26.
To throw is Prescott, and incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
26.
And again, it's Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are in for 6.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Santos now to add the PAT. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Niners on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. the gun. They'll look to throw. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw, and unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And this one is right through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Here we go. Wide in.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready.
Here we go. Wide in.
On third down, Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Final play of the half. Prescott is going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So nothing separating these two teams as we head to the break, all square. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where it was the Texans who picked up the victory at home. 31-13 was the final. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Dak on the option left. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott from the gun. Over the middle, complete. It's Collins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Again, it's Elliott. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when a screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball to the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Collins. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Now let's go. 3.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Niners on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Horton. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety? coming up and making the big-time play.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
They run it again with Cook. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
All right, here we go. 319.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Prescott now, option right. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. A 1st down throw for Prescott. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's taken down inside the 30. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Prescott on 1st down. Incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And a broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. That's complete right around the 8. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Here's Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Santos with the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
On play action, they'll throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The Niners on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Barker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They're going to look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Now let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
All right, here we go. Blue, land it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back, not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft it.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
So that'll back him up 5. That false start knocks him back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal.
Now let's go.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Able to get away. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Here we go. Wide 26.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And now running right through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Here we go. Wide 80.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Here we go. Wide 80.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Wide 80. 26.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face
Personal
mask.
foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15. And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Hey. Here we go. Wide 80. 26.
From the red zone now, Prescott. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. Now Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have broken the tie.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people, but power his way forward.
A close call here. Did the ball cross the plane? I don't know. From the naked eye, this was tough to tell.
Always difficult when there's such a tangle of bodies around. You're just trying to find the ball and make sure just a portion of it crossed the plane of the goal line.
Here we go. Wide 80.
2nd down, Prescott. The loop, touchdown, Dallas Cowboys. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Now the point after try for Santos. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. The defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Let's go!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go! Green 30.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. In for the score. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Critical extra point up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. This is taken near the 13. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? You think that's what went down? I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner, and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head is that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Now Prescott. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had, because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
Now Prescott. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
Here we go. 180.
A give to Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as it comes with exactly 1 minute to go in the football game.
Here we go. 180.
They go to Elliott again. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game.
Here we go. 180. 186.
Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal.
Here we go. 180. 186.
They'll run with Elliott. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
4 down. Check. Here we go. 180. Check. 26.
He'll get it up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. 2 for 2 tonight. This will be for the win. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And it'll be a good time in Big D tonight. The Cowboys have won it. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Dallas, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Niners, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.